Let's be honest. There aren't many consequences for young people these days. At least, not immediate consequences. Not the consequences that they feel down the road. I am talking about the consequences in daily life. There aren't many of them. And I think we all know that. That's probably why you actually clicked on this video. And there's a reason for that. And it starts at the root. It starts in the home. When a child grows up, this is when they learn their most important moral values. This is when they learn about hard work. This is when they learn about emotions. This is when they're learning about how to fit in to our current society. And parents, now more than ever, are not giving their kids the proper discipline they need to grow when they are older. A kid nowadays is basically a little tyrant, allowed to roam around his house, go here, go there, no consequences for anything. Steal a cookie? Not a big deal. Play an extra half hour on the video games? Don't all kids do that? But when we let our kids go like this, when we do not have proper disciplinary backed systems, then kids do not know where they fit in. A kid who has proper boundaries, they know, this is my place in this house. They have a sense of purpose. A person without purpose is dead. They aren't here anymore. If you do not have a purpose on this earth, as small as I'm going to go and make this cup of coffee, they aren't here anymore. And kids need that purpose. Everyone needs that purpose. So what can be fixed? First of all, parents need to set in place guidelines. They need to put in place rules for their kids to follow. They don't have to be big. It doesn't have to be life-shattering. The biggest thing is just starting now. So, number one, put in place some guidelines. If you have never done any of this before and your kid is just allowed to roam free, what we call iPad kids, start it super simple. Ask him rephrase that. Don't ask him. Tell him, today you are going to take out the garbage. That's simple. Should take you like 10-15 minutes. Tops. And if he does it, that's great. That's an immediate win. If he doesn't, there should be a disciplinary backed system so that he knows that skipping out on his chores isn't allowed. So that's number one. Number two is parents need to prioritize the time. They need to prioritize this, not even the time. They just need to prioritize this in their household. When they come home and they're tired and they want to go to bed and they just want to watch TV and have a great night, they've got to say, no, I am a leader of this household. God brought these kids into this world in my family. It is my place to make sure that my kids thrive in this world. So it needs to go up on the priority list. If it's not even on the priority list, just bump it up. Bump it up one notch. Bump it up another notch. It should be on your priority list 100%. So yeah, that's like the two things that I think could dramatically impact this. I think a few of the side effects we would see, what we do see, when we don't have I'm searching for the word, a disciplinary backed system. When we don't have a disciplinary backed system, and then kids grow up, they don't know what to do. I think that the greatest example of this, actually, look at colleges. Kids barely graduate nowadays. And if they do graduate, a lot of them don't even go to the jobs that their degree is for. They go through all this schooling and all this money, life-changing amounts of money, and they might not even use it. In fact, they probably won't use it. I don't know the exact statistics on hand, but I remember when I saw them once, I was like, what is this? How is this allowed? How is this even legal? How are these kids allowed to grow up without proper decision-making skills? Like, that's where we're at. Kids are just picking the easiest thing. If you don't put in place guidelines and boundaries and to-dos and not to-dos, then they don't know what to do. It's super hard for them to make decisions, right? So bringing this all back together, we just need to reinstitute a system where there is consequences. We definitely see this when you grow up. When you become an adult and you go to work, if you do not do what they tell you, if you don't do A, B, C, you're fired. That's a consequence. In school, you don't do your schoolwork, who cares? The teacher probably won't even notice. Your parents are too busy working and doing whatever they do. No one's even gonna stop. No one's gonna stop you. If you have a good friend, they might tell you. But kids are allowed to walk all over the teachers. No one wants to become a teacher anymore. It's so hard. The kids these days, no one will. Some people will. Majority of people will agree with me. Kids are worse now than they were years ago. Then again, even the Romans thought this, like the new generation, they're screwed. But I think that we've reached a point where it's actually, we need to fix this, where our economy is not going in a good direction. We need hard-working kids in this economy, and they need to know that they have to produce in order to be of value. And if you're of value, you will get paid. So you just have to become valuable in this economy. And if kids aren't taught at a young age to be a disciplinary-backed system, they don't learn that there's consequences behind doing something that you're... there's consequences behind doors, then they're screwed for life, basically. Of course, they can't always blame their parents. Of course, each person has to take ownership of themselves. But I think we... Excuse me. Recovering from a cough there. I think we could fix a lot by just instituting some discipline. bring back the belt to schools. I know a few of you are laughing out there or don't even know what a belt is. Strap. Hit him on the bum. Slap him on the wrist. Eat that soap. Soap's good for you. Builds character. Me being a homeschooler, I see a lot of this from a different perspective. I see the school system from an outside view. Most kids, this is the school system. This is their view on the school system. They're in it. This is my view. I get to see top down what's happening in here without, well, of course everyone has prejudice, but with less prejudice and without personal experience, basically. So yeah, I hope this video helped someone out there. If it didn't, at least I got some work with my camera skills, or with speaking to camera skills. I'm trying to get better at that. Trying to post every day. I think I might be improving, who knows. Definitely easier to talk to the camera now. It's kind of funny, the system that I've got rigged up here. I'm actually in bare feet right now, by the way. But this is what my phone was on, and that's where I was sitting. But if you guys take away one thing from this video, and if it makes you think about one thing, then that'll make my day. My name's Liam Gour, and this was my video, even if it was not the best.